Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the Finnish grip, also known as the European grip. Let's get started. All right, let's talk a little bit about the different grips and the styles that are used. First is the American grip or the standard grip. That's thumb and index finger above the cord, javelin cord underneath, and the fingers wrapped around. The next grip is the fork grip. That's basically two fingers, index and middle finger over the cord, javelin between, down the middle of the hand, between those fingers. And then there's the Finnish grip or the European grip. I always call it the Finnish grip, but it's also known as the European grip. And that is from the middle finger and thumb above the cord and the index finger just wrapped around the javelin. Again, down through the center of your palm and down the length of your arm. Since we're talking about the Finnish grip today, I want to just show you the transition that I make in order to get into the Finnish grip. And that is index finger and thumb above the cord, fingers wrapped around just in that standard grip, American grip style. And then you just slide the javelin down to the middle finger. And now you've got the Finnish grip. The idea of the Finnish grip is that we want to have it down the center of our hand. So if we put our pinky and thumb together, it creates a little bit of a crease here. And that's actually the line that the javelin needs to sit in as you're throwing. I like to have the javelin a little bit more on my thumb side than the pinky side. I think of it more like having that javelin down the length of my arm so that as I draw that javelin back, I can aim the javelin in the direction of the throw. If I grip the javelin this way and wrap my hands around it, what you'll notice is that the javelin comes off the pinky side of my hand. And as I draw that javelin back, that javelin faces off to the side. If all I do is move it back to the middle of my hand, you can see the javelin then straightens out. One of the methods that I use to teach new javelin throwers how to grip the javelin is I let them know index finger and thumb above the cord. And what we do is we give the javelin a high five. So I'm going to reach the javelin up nice and high, and I'm going to reach up and go thumb and index finger above the cord. Now the javelin is down the length of my arm. From this position, I can just draw the javelin back and produce my throw. For that Finnish grip, I do the same thing. I give the javelin a high five, index finger and thumb above the cord, and then I slide the javelin down so I feel it on my middle finger. And it's the same process. I just withdraw the javelin and then give it a throw. All right, now one of the goals here is to actually get torque on the javelin. So we're going to try and spiral the javelin off the fingers. And in some cases, if you've got a javelin that doesn't really have like an obvious stripe or color change, is you can use athletic tape and create a little fin on the end of the javelin so that you can watch the spin of that javelin. Just want to say a quick thank you for watching this channel and supporting this content. If you want to further support this content, go to my website, coachhalley.com. There you will find a brand new javelin course on javelin technique. One of the things you may notice as I'm throwing this is that the javelin wobbles a little bit. Now, as you produce more and more torque, a softer javelin like this is going to wobble a bit more into the flight line of the throw. You get a higher end javelin, 80, 90, 100 meter javelin, maybe a carbon javelin, that little wobble is going to dampen pretty quickly and you're going to find a much tighter spiral as you throw. Let's talk a little bit about the common mistakes with the Finnish grip. The most common mistake that I see is that folks don't grab the javelin above the cord, they actually grab it below. So the thumb is below the edge of the cord and the middle finger is above the cord just here at the top. And what you end up finding is that the majority of the pressure put on your finger happens within the last segment of your finger. In fact, you'll find javelin-related injuries to the end of that finger, either because you've created a callus or you split your finger open, or in my case, when I was in college, I had a dislocated last knuckle, and as I was throwing with that grip, my finger would actually turn sideways, and I'd have to reset it after every throw. Not very fun. So what we want to do is instead of having at the last segment of that finger, we actually want to get the grip to be here on the inside of that middle finger, and we want to wrap it down the length of the javelin. What that does is it provides more surface area for the javelin to roll off of. So as we spiral that throw, it rolls from the inside off the length, distributing the force the entirety of the finger. Second thing, I find this as the most common mistake with a Finnish grip, sticking the index finger towards the tail of the javelin, and people use it as a support structure to try and stabilize the javelin. The problem is with that particular grip is that the index finger kind of gets in the way of the throw. We want to be able to create torque in the throw, and if that index finger is facing back here, it either slips to the side or it just gets bent back. As you're throwing, you'll see fingers that are bent completely back, and then you get this weird flight as you're throwing. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Remember, CoachAli.com, you'll find more information in a brand new course. And until I see you next time, have fun and throw far.